searching.
Hi everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you watching. If you enjoy these videos, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing them. I appreciate the support and I hope that everybody has had a great week. Let's get right into the intuitive messages for the week. Here's what you can expect from January 11th through to January 17th as an overall theme, and then areas of love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. General themes with the 111 energies at play, plus so many other energies that are at play right now. It is a crazy time energetically. But it's such an amazing time, and we all signed up to be here to have this experience, believe it or not. And we're having it, and we're going to continue to have it, and it's going to be amazing in the end once we get through all of the dark night of the soul stuff, right? So either way, the 111 energies are at play, and you may see some resolutions to obstacles and recent difficulties or situations that may have been looming around or plaguing you over the last several months or the last year. So you're definitely going to see some resolutions coming. At minimum, you're going to experience this through a shift in your perspective and come up with creative solutions and new ideas. So it's just going to bring in the energy of solution. So maybe you're not going to have the solution right this week, but the ideas start percolating, which then helps you actually find the solution at a later point. But either way, the energy is shifting. Now, this energy could also have you feeling extra antsy, anxious, or just like high energy, like you're going to be bouncing off the walls, and you're really going to feel the need to release this energy. You're going to want an outlet. Like if you don't give this energy some sort of outlet, whether it's through creativity, exercising, I don't know. You just got to be able to do something with this energy, because it's going to be triggering a lot of different things. So one of the things which could come up for you is emotions or overstimulation in your physical body, where it kind of feels like electricity is running through your veins. Those of you who have experienced energy work or Reiki or chakra healings, things like that, you kind of know that sensation of what the energy feels like. And for those of you that have never experienced that, well, it just kind of feels like electricity running through your body, or you'll feel like pulsations and vibrations. But if you're not in tune with your body in that way, more than likely you're going to experience it through emotions. So again, you could get triggered emotionally. Maybe you end up feeling sad, angry, frustrated, overwhelmed. I don't know. All of the feelings are on the spectrum of possibility to be felt and dealt with. Definitely do your best to be present in the moment, because this type of energy can cause accidents or issues with being in a hurry. So you're definitely going to want to pay attention to being in the moment. Hurt feelings and insecurities may be coming up again this week as well, in love, money, and self-esteem. On the positive, anything that triggers you is showing up so that you can heal those feelings. And I feel like you're going to heal them really quickly. So it kind of just feels like you get triggered, emotion comes up, you're paying attention, you catch it, and you kind of put two and two together and realize like really what you're feeling is something from the past, but a situation in the present triggered it. Lots of energies around business, work, your purpose, fathers and father figures, which can bring up some frustration, especially when with this high energy at play. And again, pay attention to your surroundings, because accidents will happen, and there could be heated debates due to changes in plans, miscommunication, or some other breakdown. And we could also see issues around mechanical things breaking down, along with things from the past coming up. So you could end up having computer issues, your car could break down, Anything mechanical, right? Anything mechanical could at some point break during the week, or maybe even after, because, you know, all these energies, I do week to week the shows, but they trickle into each other, and, you know, the energies are typically at play for a period of time, and some of us experience them a little sooner, some of us right on time, and others shortly after. And like I said, the past could be coming up. Change is going to be happening more quickly now with this new age of Aquarius coming in stronger and stronger with each passing day. So a lot will be going on. I'm sure you're seeing it in the news. There's just in the news and in your personal life, right? Because what happens on the macro happens on the micro, and we're all connected, and it all plays out in different ways. So a lot is going on, and at times it could feel very, very destructive. I promise it will be followed by renewal. Everything is collapsing, and it will feel scary and overwhelming at times, but it's happening so that we can all gain our true rightful freedom. The freedom you currently think you have is an illusion. You have none, and that was proven over the last year and will continue to be proven until we all get it, right? So we are a slave to the system, right? You are forced to work to earn others more money than yourself. Then you're forced to pay taxes with the money that you busted your ass earning. Then you don't even get to know what they're spending your taxes on. Like, we should get every year an itemized list of what the government is supposedly resolving with the finances that we're contributing that should be benefiting all of us, right? So again, then you have to pay your utilities and everything else. So the system really was designed to keep you in debt, struggling, and working for others. That is all ending, but it's a process, right? So all this collapse and kind of destructive energy that's at play could have you wanting to take extreme actions in your own life in certain ways. Or maybe, you know, you are very politically motivated, so you're out there protesting or trying to make a difference in the world in some way. The caution is just not to take it to too extreme actions, because that could backfire on you, right? So this energy will try to push you because you have the system that wants you to stay the same, and then the system rising up that won't allow you to stay the same. And it's the same thing on the bigger picture, right? Like, it's, you know, all this is cyclical. This is not the first time this has happened. It's just we're experiencing it for the first time, right? So things collapse and new systems are put in place, and some of these changes could be very drastic and very out of the normal of what you've experienced in your lifetime. So that could be very, very triggering. But we're here to change. We're here to help the change along, and all the changes are very, very beneficial and positive for us in the long run, but temporarily we kind of have to deal with the destructive part, right? The crappy part. It's kind of like giving birth, okay? Anybody that's had a baby, well, the contractions and all of that, the 9 months carrying the baby, there's a lot of work involved with that. There's a lot of challenges. There's moments of, you know, not feeling well, and then especially once you start going into labor, well, that's really, really painful. But the second that the baby comes out, all that pain goes away, and then you have this beautiful baby that is a mini version of you and your significant other. So, you know, there's something beautiful that comes from the pain, and this is a similar situation. We are birthing a new reality. We are birthing a new way of being and a new way of living that we just aren't used to. So that's going to come with some frustrations and annoyances and challenges, but we certainly can overcome them for sure. So, you know, this energy, it will cause frustration. It will cause anger to come up. In many people, especially those who are not actively working on understanding that they can control their emotions. The plus side of this energy is it will have you feeling very ambitious and amped up, ready to take things to the extreme. But there is a caution with taking things to the extreme, especially if you're triggered, ungrounded, or not aware of your actions. And one of the things that could happen from this is accidents and injuries. And this energy has been around for the last several months, and I know many people who have injured themselves from tripping, falling, and walking, and car accidents. So and I'm talking extreme injuries, like that required surgery and metal parts being put in. So be very vigilant and pay attention to what you're doing at all times, because this energy is very distracting, and it gives you the feeling of wanting to rush and hurry. So it's going to be important to really pay attention. Obstacles are definitely going to be thrown your way in the midst of happy times, material abundance and manifestation. So and success is going to be happening as well. So there's a lot of positive things that are happening too. But in the midst of that success and all the other stuff, you're going to see things like power struggles and miscommunication and just plain assholery. Like, people are going to be showing their asses, and we're just going to have to kind of work through these things. And even with these challenges coming up, you will experience major breakthroughs, important insights, solutions to old habits, patterns, and behavior. Things in your life are going to be improving. And if you can choose to see every obstacle and challenge in your life as a blessing in disguise and a catalyst for overcoming deep-seated fear, then you'll have a much easier go of things. Be solution-oriented. I say it all the time. Be solution-oriented instead of problem-oriented. We know the problems. We know problems exist. And the more that you understand the problem, right? So you really need to research and evaluate, okay, what's the situation? What's the problem? Let me look at every angle of this. And once you understand the problem, then it's going to be easier for you to find a solution. And there's a solution to every problem if you have the willingness and flexibility to find one, okay? You ever talk to someone who has like a problem? Right? You talk to someone, they have a problem, they're going on, they're complaining about what's happening, and they're just down and out, and you start giving them real sound, solid solutions, but they just keep shutting down every solution with another problem or excuse, right? Yeah, those people want to remain miserable and a victim. Know when to walk away from people who do not have the willpower or desire to experience life in any other way. It's exhausting, and that is what you may be dealing with this year. And again, you know, at some point this could be you as well, because, you know, we've all been there. Like, I'm talking from experiences. We all go through that. No one is exempt from having that mentality at some point in their life, okay? So it can be very exhausting. And again, just know when it's time to stop giving solutions and know when it's time to start setting boundaries instead, because that can very quickly turn into a very draining, exhausting experience that only hurts you. And meanwhile, that person is just feeding off of you, giving and giving and giving, but not doing anything with it. It's a waste of your time and energy, and they need to figure it out for themselves. So this brings me to the next thing that you may be dealing with this week is the need to set boundaries and being honest in some situation in order to get your needs met. You may need to put your foot down with someone in your life. It's also about you becoming mindful of other people's boundaries as well. The last energy at play this week is another round of trust. Someone in your life may be untrustworthy. More than likely, this person on the surface seems to be on team you, but secretly is on team envy or jealousy or team self. And maybe that person even ends up being you this week, right? So this could be you. You may get triggered in the self-esteem department, or maybe you're secretly envious of someone in your life that you care about, and you can't help wishing them some sort of failure, right? You love them and you care about them, so you're not going to be a total jerk, but secretly you just mean like you could be having like these thoughts that are basically like, oh, you know, like I feel like she's all good stuff's always happening to this person, like always happening good stuff, like why can't she just get knocked on her ass once, right? Those thoughts have power and they have energy. So you could be thinking about that, they could be thinking about that. Either way, be mindful of this energy. It's here to heal old wounds around trust and to teach you to trust yourself and to trust your intuition. And if you get that untrustworthy vibe, be cautious, but definitely check in with yourself to make sure that vibe is accurate, right? And not that it's your fears and insecurities being triggered from past experiences. Because that really, until you like work through all your past traumas and all your fears and insecurities, you're constantly attracting situations into your life that are going to trigger those things to come up. So sometimes we self-sabotage because we're in denial and we automatically think it's the other person, when in reality it's us that has the issue and the problem. So it's going to be important for you to practice discernment with yourself and with others. But again, the more you practice, the easier this gets, the more you're going to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, man, life is like limitless. It's just amazing to work through fears and insecurities and self-worth issues and just being. I just can't say it enough. Okay, work. The person I was just talking about could actually show up in this area of your life. So it may be a coworker who's secretly working against you in some way, or shit talking you to the boss behind your back, or just gossiping about you to someone else, talking about how you never do your job right. Or they're just dishonest, right? Like they're just dishonest about, yeah, I did that. Of course I did that. No, you lost the email, right? Like whatever. Avoid open conflict because it could get ugly with all the other energies at play. So, you know, it's not worth it. You know, my motto is always kill them with kindness. Just be yourself. You know, like when you're getting, if that person triggers you, then that means you've got issues with dishonesty within yourself. You've got trust issues and you have other things going on. So whenever you get triggered, you've got to take a look at what the problem is within you. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be something from your past, and you're just upset about it. And if you're angry at that person, more than likely you're just going to be angry at yourself because you either fell for the person's lies and dishonesty, or you're angry because you've lied and been dishonest yourself. So those are typically why we get trigger points, is because we either do the exact same thing or have in the past and we haven't forgiven ourselves for it, or you know, somebody else did it to us and we haven't gotten over it. Either way, you could see lots of people overreacting and blowing things out of proportion, including yourself, all week long at work. Otherwise, work will be going really well. I mean, I feel like it's going to be going really well. It's just going to be that kind of little bit of influence there. Those of you looking for work, I'm definitely feeling some leads this week. Some of you, I feel, need to look to the women in your life for some connections. And, you know, when I say that, a lot of times it could also be men that maybe are more in tune with their feminine energies. So it's not... I mean, I always try to distinguish, but I'm feeling women are going to play a significant role for some connections for some of you. But like I said, it doesn't always exactly play out that way. It could be a man with feminine energies, and that does not mean he's feminine qualities in that way, just feminine energies. This person is more nurturing, more in a state of being and feeling and expression. And okay, so definitely share with everybody you know that you're looking for a job. And some of you, I feel like you need to, oh, no, that was me just thinking about the women in your life again. I do feel like work is going to be popping up quickly and unexpectedly. So for some of you, this is just, it feels like it's just like you're not even, maybe you're in a moment, like maybe you're out somewhere at the store, you bump into someone you know, you're having a conversation and work comes up that you're looking, and all of a sudden the person's like, oh my God, literally we're hiring, I'm going to put in a good word for you tomorrow. The person puts a good word in for you and boom, you get hired, like quick, like that. In the area of love, fear will be coming up in relationships. This could be things like fear of failure or commitment, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough or worthy, fear of cheating or abandonment, lying, those kind of things. You'll need to get really specific as to why you're afraid, then discuss it with your partner. And you may just be looking for some validation and reassurance, which is great, and that's okay because we all need that sometimes. But this may be going on with your partner as well, because remember, this reality is set up as a mirror. So more than likely, your partner is having very similar feelings and experiences to what you are, but they're just expressing it in a different way. So, you know, your partner could be feeling this way as well. So make sure that, you know, you give them a little validation and reassurance as well, because not everything is always about you. So you got to remember the people in our lives as well. So if you, so be sure to validate and reassure them. Singles, you may be fearing that you'll never find love. And if you end up feeling this way, be sure to take a look at your self-esteem and feelings of worth. You got to love and believe in yourself before anyone else will. So if you're not having any luck on the dating scene, it might be time to take a step back and just date yourself, right? Really figure out what you like about yourself, what you don't like about yourself, figure out what your deal breakers are in a relationship and what you really want. Are you allowing yourself to be 100% you when you're out in the world dating and even interacting at work or in your family life? Like, or are you trying to be something you think other people want you to be? Because that's where you really need to get in tune and touch with yourself, because until you actually love you for you, nobody else is. Remember, everything is a mirror. So until you love you, more than likely you're going to be attracting people into your life that are going to show you what you don't like about you, okay? So that's kind of the energy that's at play there for you guys. The other thing happening for both committed and singles is the forceful energy at play could cause you to be aggressive. So if something does come up like the fear, it may be aggressively fearful and you might want to confront the person or act in an aggressive manner. So, you know, boundary issues are going to come up along with this. And there may also be, for some of you, a mother or mother type figure interfering in love relationships or overstepping boundaries by constantly hounding you about your love life, right? Whether you're single or committed. So maybe mom's constantly like, oh, when are you guys going to have a baby? When are you going to get married? Oh, you still aren't dating anyone? Are you even trying to date anyone? Right? It's going to be something like that. Or this person could actually be living with you and you're a caretaker and that's interfering in some way. Either way, it's all about boundaries. That is what we're learning big time, is how to set boundaries with ourselves and with others, but still be able to show up and, you know, take care of ourselves and show up and take care of others. So it's a delicate balance. Finances. A strong woman may be about to play a major role in your financial life. As I said before, I say woman, possibility of it being a man with feminine energies. Be open to what she has to say, because I feel like you can learn a lot and it'll make a big difference. It's also a week where many of you may be very detail oriented with your finances and planning ahead. So like there's this methodical energy. So you might be creating a budget, or you might be figuring out what you can invest in or how you're going to pay off your debt. And, you know, it's like this detail oriented, methodical kind of energy. But there's also the energy around this where If you are detail oriented and you are methodical this week, I do feel like you may find errors in your finances that work in your favor. So make sure you're checking receipts, you're checking your bank account. I just feel like you may find money that you didn't know you had. So if you go to the grocery store, pay attention when they're ringing things up. You know, it might get rung up wrong or double, triple, or again, the bank statement, you might have accidentally deducted more money from your checking book when in reality that you didn't end up spending that much. So some kind of error is going to work in your favor around money. And maybe it's somebody else's error that works in your favor. Health. You could be receiving conflicting information about your health. You may be very focused on making a lifestyle change this week. Some of you may be dealing with repressed emotions coming up. There's a caution with completely losing your shit on someone who triggers you. So again, you can control your emotions, whether you believe that to be true or not. You have to try, and you just keep trying and trying and trying until you master it. Lastly, stress will be a factor, and it will do you some good to find some sort of an outlet for stress relief, whether it's going for a walk or exercising. You know, I wouldn't recommend like binge eating or getting hammered off of alcohol, those kind of things, right? I'm talking about healthy outlets to release stress. And, you know, there are, like, I do feel like we're going to see more and more people with illnesses coming up that we're going to have to be dealing with in our lives. So, you know, that might happen. You might have some people in your life that end up getting diagnosed with some illnesses. So, you know, I mean, it's a part of life at this point. But all of that, it's all going to be changing. So that's the beautiful part. Spirituality, your emotions will be the gateway to opening up your spiritual life. You're going to be working on becoming more in tune with what you think, feel, and why. Make sure you allow yourself to move from thinking to feeling. Otherwise, you won't be healing and releasing. And you'll just continue to attract the same emotional baggage into your life through various people and situations until you completely release your old baggage. And once you release the old stuff and learn that emotions are meant to be felt and expressed, and actually start doing this going forward, your life will completely change for the better. It's miraculously. Oh, and dreams are going to be extra intense and vivid, so keep a dream journal if you feel guided and look up your dreams to understand what's going on inside of you. You get a better understanding of what's happening internally with what you're processing. And a lot of times dreams have direct messages from spirit. So keep a dream journal if that's something that resonates with you. And lots of messages coming from spirit all week long. So again, pay attention to synchronicities and signs. Again, it can come through the form of other people, songs, numbers, animals, like random thoughts in your head that aren't really your thoughts. They just sound like your voice. So again, it could show up in many different ways, but you have to actually be paying attention and looking for it to receive it. And then certain things, lastly, the caution with this energy or in the spirituality sector is that some of you have an expectation of spirit to give you answers or guidance without any input or effort from you. And that's just not how it works. It's a relationship, right? It's asking, taking action, and receiving. So you can't just like sit around waiting for spirit to solve your problems, because it just doesn't work in that way. Certain things you just aren't meant to know either, because you have to go through the experience in order to actually receive the lesson and answer. You know, especially when it comes to our romantic relationships and our life purposes. Spirit is never going to just tell anyone, hey, you're meant to be a doctor. Like, that's your life purpose. You have to come across that. You have to work and come across that through your experiences and evolution. Sure, we can tell you different things that we see, especially if you can tap into timelines. So like, I can tap into your timeline and I can share with you all of the possibilities that I see, but I can't tell you the exact one that's going to work out for you, because you have free will and you're here for a purpose. And if you knew in advance, you wouldn't do shit to make it happen, right? Like, it would totally change the outcome. So not everything can be known, right? So just keep that in mind. Because like I said, you have to go through certain experiences in order to actually receive the lesson and the answer for yourself, because you're working in conjunction with yourself, your higher self, and spirit, right? And God and the universe and everything, all of us. It's all connected. It's all connected. Okay, so that wraps up the intuitive messages for this week. If you enjoyed these messages, please like, subscribe, and share. As you know, I've been saying it for weeks now. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and hopefully I do. Oh, I shouldn't say hopefully. I will at some point reach 1,000 subscribers. Okay, thanks for tuning in, everyone. As always, the links to any information or services will be in the description box of my YouTube channel. I will see you guys next week. Bye.